Incidentally, for those interested, the Tigers did crack both polls today. They are ranked 25th in one, 24th in the other. 7 SEC teams are ranked. I said on my podcast this morning, SEC is the best conference in the league. I mean, the best conference in the country.
Oh yeah. You especially if you see what Alabama just did to Gonzaga, man. You got some teams, man. There's a lot of depth on each side. It's not just the West is stacked, the East is stacked. It's a whole conference, man. You can look. There's going to be a lot of kids from this conference good play at the next level, and you see that, man. It's going to be a fun SEC schedule when this thing gets rolling.
One way to describe it's fun. It's going to be brutal. So, and this is as we educate you here in your first season, kind of covering the team. I told you about all these games that Will Wade schedules that look stupid on paper and nobody cares about them, and then all of a sudden it comes down to tournament time and things work out. The first net rankings were released today. That's a metric that they use. It deals with offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, strength of schedule, and your wins and losses, obviously. LSU in the net is second. Number 2 behind Purdue, who's ranked first in the country. It is like clockwork. Every year he knows how to manipulate this thing and figure it out. Their strength of schedule is not even that good on the net metric, but through a month, LSU is first in the net, is second in the net, which is not surprising at all. This is a question that was posed to me in my podcast that I answered last week. I want to toss it to you. It's been very obvious during Will's time here who they were going to go to if they had like 11 seconds left and they were down 1 and needed a bucket. The first year, it was going to be Tremont. It was that way for 2 years. You saw in the NCAA tournament when they had to get a basket against Maryland, Tremont was the guy who had it. When he moved off, Skylar Mays was the guy. He made a buzzer beater against Mississippi State. He was going to be the guy that handled the basketball in crunch time. Last year, it was very likely going to get into Cam Thomas's hands because he was so good at drawing fouls. He was such a talented scorer. That was probably going to be where it went, although Javonte Smart's certainly capable of doing that. On this year's team, I think the answer is a little bit more complicated. He was talking about the first 3 options in terms of scoring are post players. If you just put your Will Wade hat on, 11 seconds left, down 1, you need a basket. Where's the ball go?
Yeah, it's so hard to get the ball on the block with that amount of time. You just know they're going to dig out the post. They're going to double team you. You got guys, coming from your backside. You can't see from everywhere. I think when you got a point guard that's at the top of the floor and he can survey the whole floor, you can see where the doubles are coming from. I think you got to give it to a guy like that. And so for me, my first thought was, man, you got to give it to Days, but just off the dribble, I don't know if I trust that as much. So for me, I'm going to go Pinson. 85% free throw shooter. If he's getting it going downhill, you trust him to go to the line and knock him down. Obviously, he's only shooting 25% from 3, which isn't amazing, but just the way he can break a defense down off the dribble, leading the team in assists. So if there is a guy that kind of helps and leaves the guy open, you trust him to make that pass. So for me, obviously, he's probably not the most elite, prolific scorer we've ever seen at LSU, but I'm probably going to put it in Pinson's hands.
That's the interesting thing because Wade's always spread the floor totally and let the point guard go one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And if they try to run a double at him, obviously the defense is compromised at that point. This just, because Pinson is a poor shooter, it makes things a little more difficult. And so I think instead of just clearing the floor out and letting one guy go, you probably have to put something in that you've got time to run to get everybody moving to try to create some sort of open look there. Because when you try to give it to a point guard who's not a great shooter and they can back up and just sag off of him, it makes it difficult to create much with that amount of time left. It's something we don't know about this team yet because they haven't been in that many. It's only been in one close game. I'm curious to see kind of where that falls. But the Tigers off for finals. Georgia Tech in Atlanta on Saturday as part of the holiday hoops giving. I believe they got like 150,000 basketball games being played in Atlanta over this weekend. So Tigers will be involved in one of those.